In this session, we shall see about agrochemicals and their effects, and then later on, we'll see a case study on organic farming, and then later, we'll also see about radioactive wastes. Now, let's begin with this first one, agrochemicals and their effects. Now, what are all those agrochemicals? So, agrochemicals are all those chemicals used in agriculture to enhance the crop production, means to increase the crop production. So whatever that chemicals we use to increase the crop production, right, are all called agrochemicals. Now let us look at some agrochemicals. So these agrochemicals, which include inorganic, okay, fertilizers like sodium, potassium, urea. So you may be seeing the bags with this sodium, potassium and urea, and they will be used in agriculture to increase the soil fertility, right? And then like other chemicals like these pesticides. So these pesticides which are used to kill pests, so these are chemicals used to kill pests. So those pests are insects. Then there are herbicides, and these herbicides are chemicals used to kill herbs, right? And we also have the fungicides. Like this, there will be so many, okay, types of chemicals, weedicides and so, right? So I'm just mentioning here a few. So here the name itself tells that the fungicides are chemicals used to kill fungi. So etc are some chemicals that we use, okay, in agriculture to increase the crop production. So all those I simply call them agrochemicals. Now usage of these agrochemicals have increased, okay, during this period of green revolution. Okay, so usage increased during green revolution, okay, and of course it is continuing on, and no way the usage of these agrochemicals is coming down. So day by day the usage of these agrochemicals is going on increasing, and these are actually causing environmental pollution. Okay, so I'll mention and day by day its usage is increasing. So here it's which means agrochemicals. Now what's the problem? I told already, they are causing environmental pollution. And let's say first like for example these pesticides. So these pesticides, right, not only kill the target organisms, they will be killing even non-target organisms. So here like if I take an example, the pesticides not only kill target organisms, means the organisms which we like to kill them, so they are all target organisms. Now in this process what happens is it will obviously kill the target organisms, and right, but it also kills non non-target organisms. So these non-target organisms are like these earthworms, right, and other microorganisms, etc., of that soil ecosystem. So they are going to actually disturb the soil ecosystem that has different varieties of right, the flora and fauna, and all those organisms, if they die, then the fertility of the soil will be lost. So that is one problem with these pesticides. Of course, on one hand, using these pesticides we are able to get an enhanced crop production, but on other hand it's creating environmental pollution, I mean by okay killing those right eco system friendly organisms like these earthworms and many other right soil microorganisms. So I'll mention here, so these are all important components of soil ecosystem. Now there is a one more problem with a use of these pesticides. Okay, so the pesticides undergo biomagnification. So already in our previous sessions we have seen what actually is this biomagnification, which means the concentration of that chemical goes on increasing from one tropic level to another tropic level. And right, in case of these inorganic fertilizers, so these inorganic fertilizers are causing another problem, that is eutrophication, which that also we have seen in our previous sessions. Okay, so I'll mention here, so inorganic fertilizers cause eutrophication. So because these inorganic fertilizers will have plant nutrients, and when these plant nutrients are present in excess, right, and which will be washed away from the agricultural land, okay, so due to raining or some other okay factors, to nearby water body, so the water body will have a lot of nutrients, and that will enhance the growth of different flora in the those water bodies. That creates a problem called eutrophication. Okay, so that's different environmental issues caused by using these agrochemicals. Right, now what is the solution for this? The solution is switching to organic farming. So let's see a case study of organic farming. So very few farmers in the country switch to organic farming. I think nowadays in many supermarkets you are able to get some products that they have produced by organic farming, and they also have right a slightly increased price when compared with the same product produced through okay using those inorganic fertilizers and pesticides. So without using these any of these agrochemicals, if you are able to right grow this crop, then that crop is through the organic farming. So whatever the products we get from that, we call them organic. So because we did not use any inorganic fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, which not only cause environmental pollution, if they are accidentally enter into our bodies or animal bodies, then they also cause severe health problems, right? So now here we shall see a case study of this organic farming. As I said that very few people in the country started this organic farming here. Okay, now this is a we'll see especially about this integrated organic farming. So in this integrated organic farming, right, there will be zero waste, right? So I mean, in this case, there will be no waste is produced. So that's why we say it's a zero waste procedure, right? So here in the integrated organic farming, I'm not going to grow only the crop in the field. So I'm going to right go with many other processes like the dairy farm, and in the same place I may go with okay, beekeeping, and then okay, composting, and right, I may also go with production of gobar gas, okay, and water harvesting, and so right, and the end products of one process will be input for another process. So for that reason, I call it a zero waste procedure, right? So let's see. So in that agricultural field, so the person will be having beekeeping, and the person will also have a dairy farm in that location, and he will be also doing okay, water harvesting, right, and then he will be going with the composting, right, so which actually right, uses the, I mean, decomposition of the organic matter. I'll talk about that one, okay, composting. And then on one hand he will be doing agriculture, growing those crops, okay, and then gobar gas production, like this, etc., and many processes at a place. Now okay, so whatever that end products of this dairy farm, especially the cow dung, so the cow dung can be used in the process of the gobar gas production. Okay, so here the cow dung is used for gobar gas production here. Now once the gobar gas is produced, whatever that leftover will be the manure, and that manure you can use it, okay, so from that gobar gas production, the manure you can use it in agriculture. Okay, so I'll just mention here manure. Okay, now from the composting, here there is a decomposition of the organic matter. So here, so that after decomposition of organic matter, again you will get manure, and that manure you can use it again in agriculture. Now the flowers that have nectar and all, that will be an input for the production of honey in beekeeping. Okay, so the nectar is an input for beekeeping here, and even the water harvesting is a process, okay, to collect the rainwater, and so, and I mean preserve the water for some purposes, okay, and this okay, water that is harvested can be used in okay, agriculture, okay, and can be used in for dairy farm, okay, and even right, okay, for this gobar gas production also, because the cow dung has to be mixed with water, and then it has to be okay, used for this gobar gas production. So just I have given a little example here, that the end products of one process will be input for another one. So hence for that reason, I said it's a zero waste right procedure. And definitely it is a cyclical process. It is a right cyclical process. Okay, so you can see that here I have seen, so as it is the end products are input to another one, so it will be a cyclical process and you will not get a waste at all. So this is what we call integrated organic farming. Now, so this integrated organic farming actually allows the maximum utilization of resource. So one point is it allows maximum utilization of resource, right? And then it also increases the efficiency of production. It increases the efficiency of production. So these are the benefits of having integrated organic farming. Okay, so now here a person named Ramesh Chandra Dagar. Okay, so this person is a farmer in Sonipat, a farmer from Sonipat, Haryana. So this person is from Haryana, and this, he's the person who started doing this integrated organic farming here. Okay, and right. So in this case, as I said, there is no use of any agrochemicals. So there is no need to use any kind of chemical fertilizers for crops and so, right. And then here, uh, which I have already told you, that the end products will be the input for another one and zero waste. And this agriculture, this the crop production will take place without using any kind of agrochemicals. So that's the reason whatever the products we get by that process, we call them organic. Okay, so I think already you may see when you buy the packet, on that they are specially writing it organic. Okay, which means without using any agrochemicals. Now this person, okay, he started like a club, what he calls it, Haryana Kisan Welfare Club. So he started Haryana Kisan Welfare Club. Okay, so now in this Haryana Kisan Welfare Club, there is a current membership of 5,000 farmers. Of course, by this time the number might have gone much higher. Okay, so right, so what they say, currently the club has 5,000 members. So those all 5,000 members are farmers. Right, fine. So that's all about this organic farming, and we need to keep in mind that it's better to switch to organic farming than using those agrochemicals to enhance the food production. So if we are able to switch to this organic farming, so slowly in course of time, we will be able to reduce the environmental pollution caused due to using excess inorganic fertilizers, pesticides, and so. Okay, right. The next one we shall see about radioactive wastes. So what these radioactive wastes are? So these radioactive wastes, they contain dangerous radioactive material. So this radioactive material, like uranium, is a one that is used in nuclear power plants. So used in nuclear power plants for generating electricity. So here in the beginning, we thought that these nuclear power plants are non-polluting power plants, but we know, right, the consumption of power it increased, and because of that, there are new nuclear power plants being setting up, okay, in India and also in the world. Now, because of this, as there are more number of nuclear power plants being setting up, then definitely a lot of radioactive wastes will also be produced from those nuclear power plants. Okay. Now, using this nuclear energy, we have two serious problems. So there are two serious problems, and what that two serious problems is: one, accidental leakages. So if these nuclear power plants accidentally release these radioactive substances to outside, then definitely they can cause a lot damage to the organisms, including human beings. Then another one more is a safe disposal of radioactive wastes, of radioactive wastage. So these are two problems that when using this nuclear energy. So there may be accidental leakages, and so where to, okay, dispose that radioactive wastes generated during, okay, the power generation. Okay. Now first let's see these accidental leakages. So we have some examples of these accidental leakages. So one is 3 Mile Island accident. So this 3 Mile Island accident, it occurred on that March 28, 1979. So this occurred in Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, in the US, that is United States. Okay, right, and the cause is partial, okay, nuclear meltdown, and this has released a lot of radioactive substance into the atmosphere that has impact, I mean it will be having an impact on organisms. They may develop different mutations or can cause severe disorders and other health complications. So this is one, and another one is the Chernobyl accident. So another one is Chernobyl disaster. So this one occurred on April 26, 1986. Okay, so this happened at, okay, reactor number 4 in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Okay, so this nuclear power plant is present near, okay, city of Pripyat, located in north of Ukraine. So this is located in north of Ukraine. So I'll just mention here. So it is located in north of Ukraine. Okay, right. So this is one disaster. So here you can see that I have mentioned two disasters. Okay, one 3 Mile Island accident, and another one, the Chernobyl disaster. Now this Chernobyl disaster we consider as world's most okay, worst disasters occurred in case of this okay, radioactive, I mean nuclear energy, or in case of power plant disasters, right? And we know that the radiation released by nuclear waste is extremely harmful to the organisms, right? We'll say in what way it is extremely harmful to the organisms, right? Actually, it causes mutations at very high rate. So those radiations, the radiation can cause mutations at very high rate. Okay, and then uh, if these radiations are present at, okay, high doses, so that's I'll mention at high doses of radiations, so this leads to death of the organisms, of course, including the human beings. So hence at high doses it is lethal, means that can kill the organism. Now at low doses of the radiations, right, it leads to several disorders. Okay, and those disorders like congenital malformations, means when the baby right is growing in the mother's womb, it can undergo malformations, means not form properly. So there may be several defects in the baby. Okay, and then among these disorders, the frequent is cancer. So most of the people will get cancer. So hence we say that these radioactive wastes are extremely potent pollutant, right? So now what is the solution for this? So we need to carefully dispose these radioactive wastes. Now for that purpose, okay, we are going to keep these radioactive wastes. So we need to safely dispose radioactive wastes. So for this, what we are doing is we are actually right after treatment, proper treatment, we are okay, putting them in some, okay, shielded containers, and then burying them deep, okay, around 500 meters deep into the right ground, I mean from the earth surface. Okay, so here We shall see in this case whatever that the radioactive wastes we are going to keep in right containers. So those containers are very strong, okay, and the radioactive wastes will be kept right, and it is completely sealed so that no one can open it. And now, okay, so this is a container, I mean a shielded container with the radioactive wastes. So this one we are going to put, okay, deep underground. So this we are going to, okay, bury 500 meters deep from the earth's surface, okay. But now you know what I call, many people are opposing this, right, burning these radioactive wastes which have been kept in shielded containers, and then okay, burning them deep 500 meters, okay. Many people actually do not like, and they are opposing this process. But at present, this is the only way of disposing these radioactive wastes. Okay, right. So these radioactive wastes, after sufficient pre-treatment, so they are kept in containers and then buried deep in the soil. So at a depth of okay 500 meters. So that's all about these radioactive wastes.